Okay, so first off, what is your name?
Tanae.
Hi, Tanae.
Hi.
It's nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
I'm just gonna have just a few questions to ask you. Um, I've seen people who've called themselves prophets or spiritualists and things like that, but I never get to really talk to one face to face and just ask them just certain things that I know that a lot of people would have questions, which is when did your voices begin? When did you first start to notice that you had these experiences with hearing things?
Wow. I think my first encounter with God on that was about 13. It wasn't anything taught to me in ministry or in church. I went to church and no one really talked about prophets. If there was a prophet in the house or a prophetess in the house, they went about a way where they spoke privately to the leader. The leader delivered the word.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I didn't understand that. But I felt like, okay, these people are special and this is how it's supposed to be. Never stand up, say anything. I came from a very, I won't say bad, but I come from a very deep bloodline of like witchcraft, things of that nature.
Interesting.
So I wasn't aware at a young age that was what was going on. But my mom was very heavy in it. And here I am going to church, young, don't know no different until I got that awareness that something wasn't quite right around me. My first experience hearing God, or what you will say spiritualist or prophetically, was very young because I used to have dreams, and the dreams would happen, but I would never tell anyone that I see it first. I think that it scared me because my family was so deep into witchcraft that I was afraid that was witchcraft. So I'm not gonna say anything because I'm 29 and I still believe that there's a very thin line when it comes to a prophet and a psychic, or when it comes to a medium and spokesperson or catalyst, however they would call it. I feel like the thin line is the source. That's it. So being young, I didn't know that. So I felt like, oh, this is dark, this is bad, and I'm not saying nothing.
Right.
I'm not going into it. And I used to dream. That someone was sick all the time. I always dreamed the person be really sick, or a person be among us is sick. I was very sensitive when I was young, so if someone around me was sick, I could feel that energy from them.
And this was before you heard their voices.
Yeah.
So now you look back on all those things
right.
and you can see the spiritual parallels.
I didn't come into understanding of any of this until I was about 23.
Let me stop you
sure.
there before you continue. I remember my ex-fiance, she was from a long line of Native Americans.
Okay.
And, I wanted to know, do you think that, these type of things are like just passed on, or that these, just like the Bible says, that these spirits kind of follow people down from third and fourth generation? Do you think if your mother or your grandmother, all these people in your family line, if you think they would have never dabbled in witchcraft or anything like that, do you think that God would have had that gift open to you still, or do you think that had a lot to do with it?
That's a good question. I personally think, I'm a believer that God conditions a person's path in life by the things that surround them. So do I feel that I would still have that same call in my life? I may have, because to be honest with you, I feel like everyone can see and hear to a certain extent. But my thing is, I don't think it would ever been in the magnitude had this path and this life not have been what it is.
Wow.
See what I'm saying? Because the connection was, I feel like the connection was so close that I feel like God was actually literally trusting me to make a decision on which way I could have gone. Whether I could have went the witchcraft way, the evil way, the spirit way, or if I choose him.
Yeah, one more question.
Sure.
Can you do you really do feel a difference between going those types of paths? I mean, because there's all types of people that say, hey, well, you know, you're hearing from the same source and oh, it's all the same thing. Whereas you're saying at a young age, you felt that there were agents and spirits that really just had nothing to do with God, actually going against God. You felt that, you know, God was personally inviting you to speak on his behalf with his hand. Like you actually felt a difference between those two.
Because
That's
I feel like that I think when you've been as traumatized as I have been as a child, you would ultimately go the way you feel more protected. And I felt more protected in hearing him and saying, for God I live and for God I die. You know, but I did feel a difference. I feel like that the other side can give you just as many riches, can give you notoriety, can give you an audience, can give you a platform. It can give you these things. But in the end, you don't benefit from them. This is just part of the system. I feel like when you go the way of God, he provides you more. And I felt like in going his way, I was healed. My mind, my thoughts were made free. I felt like I was liberated and I had life while I lived among like my mother, who was a strong person in my life who helped me go that other way, because I saw the life and the turmoil and the torment, and even to this day I still do.
So let me get this straight. Your mother is, you know, I guess you could say a Wiccan or someone that delves in the spirituality. So how is it that you ended up coming to church? And even then, you know, why is it that she never had an issue with you going to church if she was, you know, of another type of sect? You know?
My mother is currently not practicing. She never had a title. She felt as though she was a good witch, and she never considered herself a witch, even though, you know, she's very deep into the Eastern Star and
I know
things
about
of
that. It's
nature.
female version of Freemasonry.
Pretty much, and that's not where it started. I have family. My family's from Louisiana, so that's where she got her father is from Louisiana. So this is where she got her roots. This is where she got her teaching. You taught her palmry. They taught her this is to go down to the bayou is real. This is where they go.
So your family is from Louisiana?
Yes, my family is from Alexandria, Louisiana.
That speaks a lot about your origins.
Right.
Interesting.
So, did she have a problem? Absolutely. She had a problem with me going to church after a while. And that's where a lot of the abuse come in. But what's funny is my mother is the first person who has ever brought me to church. And so she had not always done this all her life. I think I got saved, it was like 12, 14, whatever. And around that time, I joined church, my family's church in New Jersey. Now it's 9, and she brought me there. She did not stay. A lot of influential, strong women raised me there, had me going all the time. My mother slowly but surely stopped going. You know, she started getting off the choir, getting off the thing. My mom's a very, very intellectual person. She's very smart. She's a writer. She stopped those things. And
do you think that had a lot to do with her leaving the church?
I feel like it had a lot to do with hurt and rejection. And in that she used hurt and rejection, she started backing away from things of God, because the way she viewed people is the way she viewed him. So in that, I feel like she stopped going to church because she felt rejected. I feel like there was something wrong and no one could address it. No one could get to it. And so because she felt like there was no help, she just gave in and she went this way.
Why did your mother drop you to church, yet she wanted nothing to do with it? Why do you think that she would do something like that?
I think that she did that in the beginning because she wanted, one, I think it was about status. I think it was very important that a person who used to be a very big troublemaker and always into something, police, this runaway, drop out from high school, it was a status thing that I had to be better than that.
Wow.
And so in that, she felt like putting me in church was so much different from my friends, which it was. It was.
Okay.
But it was something that was supposed to remain consistent, which it was. But when I fell so deeply in love with God and ministry, it became a problem because it came first in my life.
So it's like I dropped you here because of X, Y, and Z.
Right.
But I didn't expect you to grow roots out of your feet and be planted here. Because now I'm trying to pull you out, but you're not.
She didn't want me to speak. She didn't want me to preach. She didn't want me to write poetry. All her excuses were like, you're too young. You're too young. You don't know about this. You know, this is that and third. So then she started trying to plant thoughts. These people don't like you. They don't like your mother. They don't this and that. Anything to harden my heart the same way hers was hardened. And I leave. But it didn't work that way. Every opportunity kept yielding a different fruit.
And so this is where the abuse eventually came in.
My mother could never talk. She was very violent. So hitting was her means of communication. If she could beat me up good enough, I couldn't go to church with those marks. So I could stay home. Then I got older, I got smart, so I jumped out windows. And she came to the church. And she was like, and so it was like a constant battle to now nurture and make sure that this new me that I know remains faithful, because that's all I knew. God is the only one protecting me when I go home. And so if I mess up, he ain't protect. That's just how I thought about it, you know what I mean? But I really think that everything about my life is a puzzle to me, because every piece makes so much sense now.
Now that you understand,
Now that I understand.
the dichotomy of
Absolutely.